Subramaniam Shankaran. The third video in the series, okay, about the on the Google SAIF Secure AI framework, model source tampering. Now, let's understand the dynamics of security. In fact, in my classes, I used to say the security follows the sensitive data, and the privacy follows the personal data. But case of artificial intelligence, okay, the dynamics also includes the model source. Okay. So if the model source is tampered, okay, that actually opens up a backdoor. Now, if the data set is actually tampered, it leads to a bias. So we need to ensure that both the parents, okay, the father and the mother, okay, the algorithm, or let's say the model, the child and the parent, okay, they're all taken care properly. Okay. So the model source tampering, what exactly it is, okay. Now, it's a supply chain attack, okay. But let me also tell you the dynamics of the AI. You can have the data set. Your data set could be internal, your data set could be external. Okay. Your model could be internal, your model could be external. Okay. That means you might be buying the data set from a third party, or you might ask a third party to prepare the data set for you. Okay, and then buy it. Already prepared data set, or they're preparing it for you. So that's source from a third party. Or your data set could be internal, okay, that you already have with you. Okay, let's say if you're a supermarket running the show for close to around 20, 30 years, you've got your own databases, okay, the customer, their buying habits, okay, all the details, etc. Now, so that is on the data set. Your model can be something that you have developed internally, or your model is something that you are buying it from a third party, or you are asking an MSP, okay, or you're asking your outsourcing company, okay, to develop it for you and give it to you, okay. Now, even if the model or the data set is developed internally, okay, it's all internal. Your data set is also internal. Your model is also internal. If the identity and access management is not taken care properly, it is all prone to the confidentiality, integrity, and availability attack. Okay, when I say tampering, it falls into the integrity part of it. Okay, now who all have access to the model source? Who all have access to the data set? So if they're going to be internal, okay, the insider attack is prone for. Okay, so ideally, you need to secure the model source, and you need to secure data set, okay, from the insiders, okay, or your insider, your employees, contractors, vendors, whosoever it is. So when I say security follows the data, okay, the security also follows your model set. Supposedly, the model is developed by a third party, and they are sourcing it to you. Now, if I am a hacker, okay, there is a very popular attack in information security called as a collusion attack. I might tip the vendor, okay, who is developing the model for you, saying that can you please insert this piece of code in the model and give it to them. Okay, so that is possible. Or I can tip, when it has been shipped to you in the transit, I can replace it. Okay, that is also possible. Once it enters your infrastructure, okay, it is prone to an insider attack. Okay. Now, we always say the data at rest, data in transit, and data in use. Model at rest, model in transit, and model in use, okay, is also the condition that we need to think about, okay, when we are discussing about the AI security. So, model tampering can actually happen with a third party, okay, who's developing it for you, or on the transit, somebody is actually getting it for you. Let's say you are going to copy it to the external drive, and he's going to bring it to you. It's a very small file, or the email they are going to send it, or they're going to transfer it any other way. Okay, so you need to calculate the hash value of the model file when they are shipped to you, and calculate the hash value when you actually receive it. Now, the model file, now this will hold good only if the model file is not poisoned or tampered at the source. Okay, otherwise, if it's tampered at the source, you're not aware of it. The hash value that they're going to give you, okay, you will trust that it is same. Okay, it has not modified. Okay, so when you receive when you receive this Pickle file, okay, and you calculate the hash value, it will remain the same. You will think that, okay, it has not been modified in the transit, and it has not been modified by any of the insider. Okay, but before you calculate the hash value, it has been modified at the vendor end. Okay, now we need to have an exactly the trustworthy supply chain. Okay, in this particular case. Okay, so model source tampering can happen. Okay, the vendor who's preparing it for you in the transit, or as a part of your insider attack. Okay, when it's going to sit in your infrastructure, the Pickle, like, is one of the files where it gets serialized. Okay, so serialization and deserialization is something which is very common with respect to the model. Okay, when you're trying to copy the model or you're going to send the model file from here and there, okay, from your source to destination, the serialization and deserialization actually happens. When the serialization happens and the deserialization happen, because just a file, right? Somebody can actually tamper with it. Now the problem here is the developers usually trust the open source repositories implicitly. Okay, we need to. That's where the AI awareness comes into the picture. The certifications like Certified AI Security Officer, the BCAA, it's going to help you to understand the intricacies of all this, so that people are aware. Okay, what to trust, what not to trust. So implicitly agreeing or implicitly believing or trusting something from the internet, okay, is also a cause of an agony. Now, this is not new to the AI, okay, it has been happening for years. Even before the AI, okay, in the normal application environment, these attacks were actually happening. But with AI, okay, the implications are higher because the incident with respect to the AI is not at like a traditional incident, okay. So it dynamics itself is different. We are going to have a separate video on AI incident management, okay, so that you'll understand where all it can actually go wrong. So developers often trust the open source. The common techniques, deserialization attack. Okay, I serialize the model file. I'm going to send it to the destination. So when it is serialized, okay, in that particular file, okay, I can insert, okay, my own piece of code which is malicious. When the deserialization actually happens, okay, the code gets installed, okay, on the production. Okay, it might open up a backdoor for me, or it might be a trigger. Okay, so deserialization attack. Many standard AI model formats, okay, use Python Pickle module for serialization. Pickle is not just a data format; it allows an arbitrary code execution. An attacker can embed malicious script inside the model file. Okay, so when you're actually running it, okay, the malicious script also gets executed. Neural trojans. Okay, we all know what a trojan is. Okay, trojan is a backdoor. So attacker retrains a popular model with the poison data, and the model behaves normally for 99% of the input. Now if there is a specific trigger, okay, I love you, okay, there are four u's, okay, that time the trigger gets executed. Okay, so this might open a backdoor for you. Typo squatting, that's a very common, very common attack that happens in the cyber security. Okay. Now, if there's a very popular bank, okay, I cannot register my domain on the name of the popular bank, but what I can actually do is, okay, I can misspell few words here and there, okay, add additional alphabet. If you add two I's to L, okay, the alphabet is an L and I, okay, so usually it is not very, you cannot detect it using the commonly, okay. In fact, in my penetration testing classes, I demonstrate using WinHT track. You replicate a website onto your local system, and var www http if you're going to copy it, okay, and you can open index.file, index.html, okay, it opens the complete website for you. And if you start the Apache too, okay, and then you just type your IP address, okay, that website actually get hosted, okay, that it is like you're saying your system becomes a web server, you are literally hosting that website. Okay, then if you add this hook.js, okay, in the HTML in the between the header, it opens a backdoor on the beef.xs. Or this is something that you can actually demonstrate. Now this particular IP address, okay, I can do an host entry to a particular name. Okay, let's say there's a very popular bank. Okay, and I can change an alphabet, add an alphabet here and there. So when I say, please donate $1 for UNICEF Child Relief Fund, you click on this click here, it opens up the banking website. Okay, I'll give you the list of banks. It opens the banking website, and when the website looks okay, like the usual one, you don't look at the URL. Okay, I can steal your credentials that way. It's called the typo squatting. Same thing is actually possible. Okay, in case of source code tampering. So what's actually going to happen is there is a very popular model. Okay, bird based uncased. Okay, so what I can actually do is I can say bird base uncased version 2 or uncased optimized. Okay, so when you look at the name, you'll actually feel that is better than the previous one. Okay, the people start executing it, they'll start downloading, they'll start using it. Okay, now there's another way of also doing it. Okay, if you're looking out for a particular application, let's say the nmap, okay, the popular code scanning software, what I can do is I can use a file joiner, okay, to add and the virus onto it, okay, and if I'm going to increase the ranking with the SEO, and if you want to look out for the nmap, okay, and my website comes up, okay, you're going to download the nmap with a trojan in it. Okay, so sometimes many of the tools that are used for penetration testing, especially for the Windows, it comes with an inbuilt Trojan. It has become a habit for the people to accept that risk and start using it. Okay? If someone is going to do the same thing, it's going to open a back door for me. Okay, to typo squatting and masquerading. Masquerading is a type of an impersonation attack that happens in cybersecurity. So these are the common techniques for the source code tampering. Okay, the only thing is the supply chain attack. When somebody else is preparing it for you, you always need to ensure that they do the model scan. Okay, the tool called model scan, using which they do the scanning, and they then give you the hash value. The hash value will remain the same, like a chain of custody, until you are actually going to use it. Okay, this way, okay, you need to ensure, okay, the hash value doesn't change for the serialized file. And alternatively, or additionally, you can also ensure the file integrity checkers, okay, connected to the SAIM, to ensure that if there is a change in the hash value, it'll give an alert, okay, on the SAEM, and the normal incident management way, you can handle this particular incident, okay. So the impact, okay, you can have a remote code execution because it's going to open the back door for you. Data exfiltration can also happen. It's a reputational damage. Okay, any maliciousness in your application, which becomes very popular. There are a lot of examples for this. The model source tampering that's available in the world. Okay, we might have a separate video to discuss about that. So it caused a reputational damage. In fact, the Hugging Face, which is actually called as a GitHub of the AI. Okay, so the researchers from JFrog and other company, and they did this model scan to find out there are 100 plus models that has got the source code tampering. So I'm not blaming the Hugging Face. Okay, it's a community. Okay, when something is available in community, we need to take care of ourselves. Okay, it is same with even if it's a GitHub source. Okay, we need to validate that before we start using it. Okay, it is like you're ordering a food in Zomato. Okay, and whatever, let's say, supply chain attack. Okay, if the ingredients are inferior in quality, or when they're preparing the food, okay, it has become poisonous. Okay, there's a food poisoning. The food poisoning is going to impact only the person who's going to eat it. Okay, so especially in the supply chain, okay, you are the person who's going to get impacted. Okay, wherever the poison is going to be. Okay, we need to take care of it. So ensure that you run the model scan to validate the model that you actually use. Okay, is it genuine? Okay, benign? Because before you start incorporating it as a part of your deployment stage. Okay, because in the deployment, okay, the model is going to have the direct connectivity to your to the production data. Okay, so this is Subramaniam Shankaran. These are the list of courses we actually have. You can write to us on training@itriplus.org.uk if you wish to enjoy these trainings and get certified. Okay, we can guarantee you the best of the delivery, okay, with in-depth information. Cheers then, bye-bye, and have a wonderful day.